Well, good morning. This might be late morning. I'm not sure. We're back to kind of slow and easy with these videos. This is video number 41 in what could be called establishing this approach. And I'm very glad I did this. It's kind of in slow motion, but that's okay. Um, let's go. So how to draw side of things. I guess I'm going to add a few more things to this drawing in kind of slow motion. One, we need to find out how long does it take to actually build what amounts to some of these adequate drawings. The reason there's no rush with this is because this makes sense. I guess that's not the best way to put it. I can't remain silent while I'm doing these. But, for instance, taking some time doing this drawing will just kind of show the logistics of doing that. Okay, now, in the last 40 videos, I've kind of in slow motion defined some of the things that I'm about. This simplicity of production is just going to become more and more the way of things. Yesterday, I posted something about camera ready. Most people don't seem to understand that in the old days, it was very interesting how you would prepare art for what could be called camera ready. And that art could be a mess, but it would go in front of the camera, and that's what the camera likes. And so that's what the camera would use to make some very, very nice graphic art or printed material. And now the cameras are talking to each other, and they're doing that at this incredible speed. So this appears to be kind of like slow motion, but without any trouble at all. What I'm doing is I'm easily able to convert this into something useful without a whole lot of digital brokerage into what could be called something useful. Okay, by something useful, I mean something kind of economic, where I'm kind of building an economy while I'm doing this. Now, if you pay attention while I'm doing this, there's going to be a bunch of them. You may pick up on a few tricks of how to draw things, and I will contribute, I guess, when I think of new things that cross my mind. Right now, you're just following me while I'm drawing lines. But you have to realize the decisions people make when they're drawing these things. There's reasons why I'm doing something before I do other things, and then I'm just kind of making this up as I go along because I can, and that makes the drawing a little better. I drew the framework yesterday. It was kind of adequate framework for doing this kind of thing. But don't underestimate whiteout. You can come back and do some cool things with whiteout. All right, so that brings to mind something. Well, what is the goal of our mission? What do we have to do here? We just put this here. Schedule a difference. As I close in on being the refined entrepreneurial developer that I might be in the future, around about video 98. Anyhow, schedule a difference. Right now, this is a promo Facebook page. That's all that it is right now. But you could literally go there and connect to Marketplace in a few days, maybe, or whatever, and start being a part of what I'm doing. I really am serious about trending 1% of the world's phones as a goal. You might as well not. What other goal would there be? Okay. If you know anything about marketing, you know that 1% is kind of like the catalyst. If you have a circulation of any worth, basically, in a situation where you have enough people, if you have a product of value, what will happen is you'll sell to probably 1% of your audience. Well, if there's that many phones in the world and the situation is as upfront as it appears, which is start preparing for climate change, right? Then what you have is you have both. You have circulation and you have something worth to pursue or to participate in. So anyhow, if you go to, that's one place to begin. And what I'll be doing is I'll be creating in the Augmiworld Channel environment various things that a person could buy, I suppose, purchase, or perks for crowdfunding or something like this. I don't know what this drawing what I would sell this for when it's done. But let's say it's worth at least $100, right? Okay, there's some other things that I've done already in the history of this channel that can be said to be worth, there's some value there. If you were into what I'm doing, that's the whole thing. You have to be into what Dave's doing. I think schedule a difference. So we have schedule a difference. And I'm just kind of doing this in slow motion because I figured out how to do something very cool with TikTok and the hours of the day, networking in general. Okay. Okay, not bad. Okay, I need to keep talking, I suppose, about something. I'm going to put background music into this. Background music kind of helps. I'm not up to speed for editing quite yet. I just drop stuff in wherever I want. I can do it to a certain extent, but it's more effort. I'm trying to keep things low maintenance. I guess that's about the best way. The idea here is that you can walk up to a table, maybe in the jungle somewhere, and then make the day's contribution to the channel. Let's say there's a whole bunch of people that have channels, right? And I'm not kidding when I say that basically somebody with some sense could create out of YouTube another MTV. I mean, that's not out of line. I mean, if you knew what you were doing, I don't have, I will maybe in a couple of years. My learning curve for things ends up being about 8 months. Like I'll start a new cold subject, and then about 8 months later, I'll be kind of good at it. Maybe if I have any talent for it. I have no talent, for instance, for foreign languages or playing the violin. A lot of things I don't have any talent. Okay, but I do have talent, I believe, for, we could call it philosophy, maybe a little bit of philosophy. For instance, I do believe that, is that the police? Are they coming for me? They're probably coming for me. They heard about, it's like Socrates. I'm going to corrupt the youth. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to corrupt the youth. Let's see here. But actually, it's younger people who are going to have to see through this. I don't know what it is to people our age. By our age, I'm 61, by the way. I'm going to soon be 62. So I am an old guy. I am completely clueless about what the hell people my age are doing. I do not get it. It's so obvious that basically we need to schedule a difference. I think that was my housemate in the background. So anyway, we need to schedule a difference. So anyway, if you contribute $10 to my campaign, you'll get a basically, you'll get something. And what I'm thinking now is that, I'm going to do these weird gifts, but they're not even going to be really gifts to begin with. I showed off in my video yesterday how to do this very clever thing with hand-done kind of animations that are very easy to do. But I found out that it's going to take, to do 2 minutes and 15 seconds would take 60 of these guys. You don't have to have a different panel really for each and every one of them. Yes, I can do 60 of those a day. In fact, that's good practice to do 60 a day. But they have to be on a level of, what would we call it? Stylized. They have to be stylized. Animators, Disney animators, Warner Brothers animators, they used to do far more than that in the old days. But anyway, so you have these, they're about this size, they fit in something like this. But what we call them, this is another subject, panels. The panels, if anybody wants to buy them, will be $10 a piece, right? So, well, 60, that would be $600 a day. Well, yeah, maybe, if somebody bought all panels, but that's probably not the same. And that's kind of one way of cutting this thing. So, in the early days, so we'll have panels, little things for $10 a piece, and then we'll have these things, which will be at least $100. Now, this should probably be more like $400 for this. I'm going to spend a little time on this. Now, I had a friend who owned a contemporary art gallery back in the 80s. He's a really neat guy, no longer with us, unfortunately. But he did have a gallery in the 80s in Seattle's neighborhood where you have galleries. He said that in the world of contemporary art, the price for a piece, if it was being taken seriously, was $3,000. I don't think this is worth $3,000. I think this is more worth $400. You know, to people who care. Anyway, this does have a place in my lexicon. So we'll schedule a difference over here. I'm really in slow motion for this one. I will speed it up a little bit, I suppose. But I am more interested in this one. Oh, I know what I have to do. I do have to do this. Oh, so let's see what we got. Damn. This video is telling me what the time is. So I'll just speed it up. That's what's going to be fun about this. There'll be a slow one, and then there'll be a sped up one. Okay, that makes things easier. The brutal truth is you either like what I'm doing, or you don't, or you couldn't care less. That's kind of how things work. So, I figured that, like I was talking about circulation, I figured there has to be at least 4,000 people who think that what I'm doing is cool. But I'm just enjoying drawing this, and I suppose I'm talking to myself, but the issue here is that I'm making a point eventually. I make a few points every now and then. I probably will speed this up because this is some guy talking to himself. If you notice what I'm doing with the water here, I will draw this out. In fact, let me draw this out, and that will be today's little lesson. That will help. Schedule difference. Video 41 is obviously, not video 41, Studio 41. Video 41 is kind of boring, but it's okay. as an older person, or getting old, I'm not in a big rush for certain things. And like I was saying yesterday, the ability for this Ken Burns style to come in and do things, follow this around, is very, very cool. I suppose for safety's sake, I should chop the video off and hope that it's not too long. That's the way these things go. This is helping me get things done. Okay, very cool.